starting. Let's see. So technically we should be online right about now. We're just waiting on YouTube to make sure that we're live. We're good.
Yep, we are a go. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I actually almost forgot my intro on what I was going to say, but welcome to today's episode of Brain 10, episode 129. And today's episode is pretty interesting. I'm actually learning from, well, I learn from every episode, but I'm definitely learning from this one. And it's things you need to know about Google Search Console. We're going to go not in depth, but we're going to give you like a brief overview and a brief, I guess you can say like a good overlay of understanding of what the Search Console is and how you can use it to better like actually make your website known and seen on Google.
Yeah, and I mean this is a very important tool that Google basically gives it to everyone and anyone willing to sort of learn, which is there is a little bit of a learning curve just from looking at the console. You kind of get lost at first. Right. So it's very important to do your research and kind of try to find some articles that talk a little bit more in depth. And even Google has a bunch of stuff that, you know, they have videos inside of the console where it explains some of those things a little bit better. And I would definitely recommend you to do that. And like Franklin said, I don't think we're going to go too in depth, but we're just kind of going to cover the topics and exactly, you know, what can you do inside of the console and kind of give you some direction.
Exactly. I didn't properly introduce myself. My name is Franklin.
And my name is Christian.
And now that we've actually finally introduced ourselves, today I'm going to let him take off and go ahead and with the start, and then I will piggyback in whenever he's done. All right?
We'll do that, yeah. So I guess the first thing, and we kind of sort of talked a little bit about it, is what exactly is the Google Search Console. And it used to be called Google Webmaster Tools.
Right.
And it's no longer called that because Google thought that webmaster was an outdated word, and it kind of is. You don't really use that anymore. But the Google Search Console, basically it helps you understand how Google crawls, analyzes, index your website. So it's a great tool to help you discover problems within your website, which might hurt your rankings whenever people try to search for you on Google, or even the user experience. There's some things in there that we'll talk about that will help other people, you know, make better decisions when they're searching for things related to your company on Google, which is pretty cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna kind of lead you on to number 2, which is you know, to verify.
Oh, okay. So like everything that he said is actually like basically the start and understanding of what it is. But to get started in actually getting all this information that you need for your website, you actually have to go to the drive. Well, not the drive. I'm thinking about Google Drive, but you have to go to the console and actually go and verify your website. Basically, you have to make sure that Google knows that you are the owner of the website itself. You're going to go into the website, you're going to grab the HTML code, you're going to add it into the head of your website. If you don't know what the head of your website is, it's basically the first part of your homepage, your index page. Mm-hmm. You're going to put that metadata in there that they want you to put in there, just so that Google can verify that you're the owner of that website.
Right, that those two are linked. And there's several ways for you to do that, several methods of verification. And I think they even recommend to do it in, you know, 2 or more. But doing the HTML tag on the head of your website, it's usually the easiest one. Yeah. But you also can like link it up with your, for example, Google Analytics. You can use the Google Tag Manager. So there's different ways for you to connect the console once you log in through it and your website to make sure that you actually own that website.
Right.
And it's very important that you do that correctly, and that ownership, verifying that ownership is basically the first thing. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do absolutely anything.
Exactly. And then also, I believe once you link the websites, because that's part of the verification process too, is like you're linking your website to Google's to the console itself, so that they can actually pull the data that they need to show you.
Yeah,
that's the only way that they can get to it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys sort of what it looks like whenever you're inside the Google Search Console. And this is a picture that we pulled from Google, actually. We weren't going to show you all of our data. But here you can see on the left-hand side, basically you have the dashboard, messages, search appearance, search traffic, Google index, crawl, security issues, and then other resources for you. The image that you can see here is sort of the dashboard. Well, it gives you any, if you have any crawl errors, any search analytics, to kind of look and see, how many people have clicked on your website from doing Google searches. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is sort of these categories that we have on the left side, and we're gonna go over and kind of explore and see what you can do with these different things. So the number one that we see after messages is the search appearance. And the cool thing about the search appearance is that, we see this almost every day when we're Googling, but we don't really pay attention to it because it's just there. And once you actually own a website, that's when you're like, okay, I actually want, my events, or if I have a recipe website, I want my recipes to show like they show on Google whenever I'm searching for recipes. So the search appearance will be the place for you to go in order to, improve these things. So, for example, under search appearance, you have things like what is called a data highlighter, and this is pretty cool because it's almost like a point and click where you can load up your website and tell Google this is a recipe, and this is the title of the recipe, this is the rating of the recipe, this is how long it takes for this recipe, and you can tell Google all this information, and Google will gather all that data and put it in the search results. So I don't have an image here to show you, but once you search for a recipe, actually we can do this. We're live, but we're gonna show you how to do this. I'm gonna pull it up first. So I'm gonna go to google.com. And what's a good recipe that you think we should look up?
Do spinach artichoke dip.
Spinach.
I don't know why I want to search for that. I just know that spinach artichoke dip is awesome.
All right, it shows up. All right, so if you see right here, even the very first one, you have artichoke dip recipe, and then it shows the rating. It shows the amount of reviews. It shows that it takes 30 minutes and it's 150 calorie. So that right there is done through the Google Search Console. Oh, nice. So you go in there and actually, tell Google, these are the parameters, or these are the things that I want you to show when you're, popping up on my website. Nice. So people who look at that can see right off the bat and make smarter decisions. So if you're searching for this, right there off the bat, you can see that, okay, that second recipe actually has 134 calories. It takes a little bit longer, but I'm going to go with that one because it's a healthier option for me.
Right. Nice. Okay. Now that is sweet. And that artichoke dip looks really good.
So again, that very first thing right there, that search appearance, basically gives you the ability to change the way you look when people search on Google. So that was one, and then recipes, and then events. So this shows up sometimes when, depending on the type of company that you are, but usually, and I've seen this in breweries, if you're searching for a brewery, they usually have some events in there. And I was wondering the other day, like, how does that show up? And it's done through the Google Search Console. If you tell Google that these are events in my website and these are the date of the event, this is the title, then Google will take that data and plug it into the search results, nice. Which is awesome.
Oh my God. Okay.
Right?
That's yeah, that makes you kind of want to go dive in the back of it. This is definitely not Google Analytics. This is something that can actually help your search.
Right, exactly. And that's why it's very important to, really get into the Search Console and do some research and really, work through it and make sure that you take the necessary steps in order to, show up on search results.
Right.
So the next one, and let me pull it up right here so you guys can see. The next one's going to be the search traffic one.
Now, this is the one that I'm excited about.
Yes. Now, this one's really cool because if you want to know where your visitors come from, which domains link to your website, what's your internal link structure, then this is the place to go. One of the main things here is the search analytics, where you can actually see, what people are searching for in order to find your website. So, for example, for us, it's not just bit branding. People might be searching for Allen social media company or Allen Texas website design, and in order for us to know what those terms are or those keywords are, we have to go to the Search Console under Search Traffic and look at the search analytics. And it's a really cool. You can even see people who click on your website based on what queries. You can see the impressions, so how many times your website shows up for certain keywords, which is all very important.
This kind of goes back to what we talked about, not this week, but last week when we first did the first setup, when we were talking about the importance of network linking within your network.
Yep.
Making sure that you are sharing, basically that you are sharing your link with other people and vice versa, backlinking to them.
Exactly.
This gives you the ability to see if they're actually doing it and actually seeing if somebody by surprise is basically saying, hey, I'm trying my best to send people your way by sharing your information on my website as well. I like that.
Yep. And then under search traffic, the other thing would be the manual actions. And I put here in parentheses, this is the worst nightmare for people like us. And the reason being is because under the manual, and see if I can pull it up here, ours was blank, but this is the worst nightmare for SEO professionals or anyone who's basically working on the Search Console, because here you will find if your website is being penalized for anything. So if your website is not mobile friendly, it will kind of show you, hey, you're being penalized on search rankings because your website is not mobile friendly. Or maybe if you're doing some black hat stuff, the manual actions will kind of show you, maybe there's some, I have here on the notes, unnatural links to your site, any hacked pages, anything funky that's going on with your website. Under manual actions, you'll see exactly what's going on. So hopefully under manual actions, your page is blank and you don't have anything there, which is the main thing.
Nice.
And then moving on to the next one, which is the Google Index. And here, that section, it's kind of sort of like the boring section, but it's important as well. And here you can see how many pages Google has indexed on your website. So you want to make sure that if you have 16 pages, that under that tab of Google Index, you can see that Google has crawled, all 16. They have indexed all 16 pages. You can also block certain pages. So if you're currently working on a new blog, for example, and it hasn't been published, then you don't want that to show. So you want to go to the Google Index to, kind of block that from appearing on search. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Now, he just said exactly what my next thing that I was going to actually talking about was actually crawl.
Okay.
That's actually crawl is the next thing on the sidebar, and I want you to take that literal. Not necessarily literal, like get on your hands and knees and crawl around and carry your laptop or your iPad with you, or try to get Google to do it. But imagine tiny bots crawling through your website to inspect it. That's whenever I hear that, that's what I imagine. And this is where Google actually will take the time to crawl through your website and actually check to see your download speeds, check to see if it's resizing properly to fit mobile devices, It's basically the process of actually, I guess you can say, inspecting the site. That's what crawl means. It actually goes through the site and actually checks it for its efficiency, pretty much.
Right, because you wouldn't check if, and sometimes this happens quite often where if you write a blog post and then you're linking to another website, but that website moved that page, then that's going to fire a 404 error or page not found.
Right.
So the crawl errors is really good because it will go through your website and it'll check all the links. That's one of the biggest things is it's going to check that all the URLs are pointing to the right destinations. Right. Make sure that you don't have any 404 errors.
Right. And this is, like you said, it's going to actually give you, once you run a crawl report, you'll be able, well, not run it. Whenever you go into crawl, you'll be able to check the reports to see what all errors are there. That way you can fully understand what's going on with your website, what's wrong with it, and actually it gives you the feedback on how to correct those errors. Now that's pretty much it for crawl. The next thing on my list was the security issues, and that's pretty straightforward. It's the page where you can go and see where someone else has actually put on their black hat to come in and try to maliciously do some things to your website. I'm pretty sure that some people have, if you've been like using the Google Chrome browser, and or honestly, sometimes even whenever I use Safari, I've searched for a website and you'd see this site may be hacked, or you see that this site may harm your computer, or even that pop-up. That's a website that's actually being like monitored to show you that, hey, there's some security issues going on with this website. And if you see that whenever you search for yours, you can go into the security issues page and actually check and see what's going on with it so that you can fix that error. So that's pretty much it. I like this because it reminds me of whenever you go to the mechanic shop to get your car checked on. Whenever you go to AutoZone, I know I do it all the time. Go to AutoZone or O'Reilly's and they come out to your car with a little box and they hook it up to your car and it gives you like a full-blown report to tell you what you need to fix.
Right.
It's not like Google Analytics, because Google Analytics just basically gives you stats. Daily stats, quarterly stats, monthly, however you want to do it. This actually will shoot back a report to say, hey, this is wrong, go fix it. Right. Or this is performing well, this is what you can do to make it perform even better than what it is.
Exactly. And yeah, it's just a tool that I feel like if you're online, you have your own website, everyone should use the Search Console in order to, one, have your appearance, how you show up on search engines a lot better. Make sure that you correct any errors like we talked about, and see where your traffic is coming from. I mean, this is a huge tool for anyone who has a current website right now, and it's something that a lot of people don't even know about and don't even know that it's actually free, and that you can do all these things for free. You don't have to, I mean, you would want to pay if you don't know how to do any of this stuff, or you don't have the time to really do any of this stuff, to pay someone like us or any social media website design people to help you with the Google Search Console and do some of the things that we talked about, which are all very important.
Right. It's kind of like one of those things where it's good to understand it enough to where you know what to ask for when you get there.
Exactly.
You're not going to try to bake a cake if you don't know how flour and butter and all that stuff mixed together to make a cake.
Right.
So, I like that analogy. Now I kind of want a cake.
I know.
But, you have anything else?
I think that's it. It's short, sweet, to the point, and like I said, I mean, this is just like a sort of like an overview of things that you can do with the Search Console and the importance of using the Search Console.
Right. And I like the timing, but I kind of want to ask people that are actually watching this, if they're watching it live or they're watching the recap, what do you think of the timing? Would you have liked it to be longer? Would you have liked it to be even shorter than what it was? Either way, leave it the comment in the comment section, or if you have even more information on the Search Console, leave that in the comment section as well. And as usual, I'm gonna grab this red pillow right here and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss another live stream. And also you get to see our other shows that we put here on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you for coming and stopping by with us, learning a little bit as we do every Tuesday and every Friday here with Brain 10. And on Wednesdays we upload Tip for Tip. So
that's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. So be ready. So subscribe and then come back and watch. I think tomorrow's episode is the greatest episode that we've done at Tip for Tip. Well, since I've gotten here. So I can't say it's the greatest episode.
I think it's the best one. It's pretty good.
I'm going to drop the mic.
Mic drop.
All right, guys. My name is Franklin.
Hey, my name is Christian.
And this is us signing off. Hope you have a great and fantastic Tuesday.
See you later.
Deuces.